How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. How's it going, Santi? Is that what it is, Santi? We'll get started in maybe a minute. We're just going to let people join in from Discord, from Telegram, a little bit from Twitter. People that forgot that the stream was starting. But we've got some exciting stuff for these new streams. I know I've been gone for probably 4 weeks now. Is it 4 weeks? 4 weeks. We were out all over the world filming for the Crypto Beat series. But we are back for Trading Mindset. I've got an exciting little stream today. We're going to talk about building a strategy or building a trading system. So a trading system would be any type of classically, if you're not a trader, you can just think of it as a trading strategy. So what are the steps that you walk through? Kind of what are your parameters before entering a trade? That builds a trading system. If you follow those parameters perfectly or almost perfectly, and you make sure that you are not kind of swaying from that or straying from that, then you do have a pretty nice trading system. You test it out, you back test it first, then you test it out forward, and you get some trackable results that hopefully you can trade based off of consistently. How's it going, Kilo? Thank you for joining in. Let's go ahead and get started pretty slowly as we run through some of these disclaimers and everything. So let's go ahead and start with, let's change it to this. So obviously we've got to do some disclaimers. The live stream is for educational purposes only and should not be interpreted as financial advice or an investment recommendation. That also goes for the charts, any of the technical analysis we do at the end of the stream or in the middle. Maybe we'll change it up. And trade and invest at your own risk. Any losses incurred are on you. Any losses incurred by me are on me as well. So we'll see how it goes. But as you guys join in, remember that you can absolutely make a recommendation for technical analysis requests. So I'm going to go ahead and get a list going. So if anybody has any pairs that they've been looking at that they want to see on the chart and that we could all talk about together, go ahead and recommend those throughout the stream, and I will add those to my list. But let's go ahead and get started with some basic strategy. So crafting a strategy, we start with building it out. So there's some pretty basic steps that I've kind of put together. Trading system can be built using the following steps. Number one, decide which coins or pairs this system will apply to. This is something, or I think a lot of people tend to believe. A lot of people tend to believe that if you build the perfect trading system, that you can use it for every single pair, that you could use it all the time. That is simply not true. You most likely will need a specific trading system for every single pair or for groups of pairs. A trading system that works for every single pair will probably be worth millions of dollars if it's back tested properly and it works out and it's tested and everything. That's some very valuable IP. So if you figure that out, send us a message in this live stream because we want to be your friends. So number two, identify your candlestick and trend timeframes. Again, you most likely won't find a trading system or be able to build one that works on every single time frame, and it's actually a lot more advantageous to find a very specific time frame, maybe the 2 hour, the 1 hour chart, short term, short to intermediate term, in which your trading system will work best. If you can find a few pairs that it works for, as well as a specific time frame, then you're absolutely perfect. You test it out and you're good. So number three is determine directionality. So trading systems can work both ways, let's say for the higher highs or lower low systems, but you most likely will find or build a system that only works in one direction. Just depends on how you build it, and we'll run through some of the examples you can make. So number four, set up parameters for entry, exit, and stop loss orders. So why would you enter your trade? You set up some parameters, you set up some rules for yourself, and you pretty much have a trading system once you've determined which direction, which coins, and which time frame. Finally, apply confirmation requirements. If you do have confirmation requirements, sometimes your parameters themselves will act as confirmation requirements. So if your parameter says if we make a higher high or if we make a lower low, if we break down below support with absolute price action instead of close-based price action, then you don't have confirmation requirements. You're confirmed by that price action. Now, sometimes, especially for myself with a trend following strategy, I like to use close-based confirmations. So that would be my confirmation requirement would be, say, we're looking at the chart, you set up a system for a breakdown from a certain formation. You'd say, all right, if we see a daily close below this support, that is our confirmation, and I'm welcome to enter that trade and go ahead and jump in. So number six is back test thoroughly. Now, not just back test, also forward test, but back test thoroughly is the very first thing you should do once you have all of your rules set. This will help determine, based on probability, if your trading system will work out in the future. Now, it won't be perfect. It will be far from it, most likely. But back testing is something you do in order to raise your odds, raise your probability of your trading system working out in the future. Obviously, you want to start with a very small amount of money as you switch from back testing to actually testing and forward testing. You want to use maybe $20, $50 per trade, depending on your capital, as low as a trade or as low as a capital requirement as possible with your trading system still working or still being relevant. Most of the time, you can just run it with $20, $50 a trade, whatever you feel like, and you should be just fine. But the lowest amount that you feel comfortable with, you should feel comfortable with the lowest amounts, but $20, $50 a trade as you're moving forward, and you can raise that as it becomes actually probable that your trading system is profitable. So that is the general outline for building a trading strategy. Not entirely useful until we put it into practice. All right, Santi, I look at Bitcoin only. The other crypto trading them is not as easy. You short them when Bitcoin is going down. They go up and hit your stop loss. Miss Unfi, can't pronounce it. Mega pump though. Yeah, I've got a link trade that's been possibly screwed up by the Bitcoin price action, but we'll see. We'll get into the charts at the end, and I'll share some stories from these past couple weeks now that I'm back to trading almost full time. So a system test, this would be once you run through those 5 or 6 steps, really those 5 steps, and you get to your back test and your regular test, or you're actually trading with small amounts of money. So backtesting a system is the process of running your parameters through historical data in order to estimate a system's viability. In my opinion, this is the hardest part of building a proper trading system, because a lot of the times when you're back testing, you're going to find a lot of subjectivity. You're going to find that you're looking through and you say, oh, well, this could be short term. It looks kind of intermediate term. I know we're not supposed to do that, but it actually makes my strategy kind of work a little bit better, because then it's profitable for this trade, and now it's profitable for 6 out of 10 trades. Maybe it'll work out in the long term. So you get a lot of bias towards building a strategy that works. And the best thing you can do is completely remove that bias in order to optimize viability. The historical limit and extent of a backtest will depend heavily on your time frame. So, for example, if you have a 1-day intermediate term system, maybe you want to backtest that for a year and a half, 18 months. Well, a 5-minute short-term system, you don't want to backtest that for a year and a half. It's going to take you 6 months to run through absolutely everything, to run through 18 months of data at the 5-minute candlestick time frame. So maybe you only need 2 weeks or a month. Even a month is pretty much a stretch for the 5 minutes. Unifi pumped 10x in under 4 hours. Oh my, is that on Bybit? Which exchange is that on? Just for reference. The most important tenets of properly backtesting a system are precision and honesty. So like I said, you want to make sure that you are being completely unbiased and that you are being fair to your trading system and to your rules. You don't want to say, or you don't want to start stretching your rules because you want to be perfectly correct. You want to be personally correct, and you want to say, I've built a system that works out. Now I need to start trading. I need to start making money. The more objective you are and the more honest you are with yourself and with your system, the less money you'll actually lose in the long run, more money you'll most likely make. Thank you guys. It's good to be back. It's on Bybit. So we'll look at that. We'll look at Unfi. Pumped from $2 to $43 in 20 hours. Bumped to, oh my Lord. I wonder what the market cap is. Unfi. Maybe I do. Maybe is it a new ticker that switch? All right, so we'll check that out, and this will be a very quick lecture as we talk about trading systems. Then we'll check out some charts, and then we'll try to build a system real quick, or actually we'll try to backtest a system. So allowing a mistake to slip through the test in order for your system to appear perfect will only hurt your profitability. Kind of like I just said, the more honest you are with yourself, the less you'll be paying out of your own wallet in the future whenever you actually start putting your system into practice. So let's go ahead and start crafting a new strategy after we look at that Unfi chart, because I'm very interested. I'm also probably saying it incorrectly. Unfinance? Unfinance? Is it like Unify Finance, or is it Unfinance? Let me know. So we're going to run through these steps that we talked about at the very beginning, which was about 10 minutes ago. Walk through the process with a classic strategy that can be both very profitable and a dud, depending on your time frame, depending on the pair that you're looking at. So like we said, it's going to heavily depend on which pair you're looking at. If you're looking at Bitcoin to US dollar versus what is one? Sushi to Bitcoin, you're going to see a huge difference in terms of the profitability of a specific system if you try to apply it to both. But we're going to run around with the new highs / new lows system. This will allow us to look at trades on both the long and the short side. So we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and move over to the chart. Also, do remember that we will be giving away just a little bit of US dollar tether towards the end of the stream. So do stick around. Don't know the pronunciation. Missing the pump sucks. Still hurts. You got to ignore it. There's going to be tons of pumps out there. You got to just act like if you weren't there, I understand if you were staring at the coin and you're about to make an entry and then your dad called and you had to run away and you come back and it pumps 1,000%. All right, you can be a little bit mad, but if you weren't about to do it, there's gonna be plenty of more opportunity. There's no reason to beat yourself up over it. There will be tons of that in the future, trust me. All right, so let's go ahead and run over to the chart. Let's talk about Unify first, just because it's a hot topic, and then we'll get into testing out a system, or really just crafting a system. So let's go ahead and switch over. Let's find Unify. Unfi. On Bybit. YBIT. Symbol not found. Is it? Let's look at global. Not on Bybit. Okay, well, we can look at it on... It probably has the most volume. It's weird that it's on Coinbase, but not Bybit. Well, hopefully they add it soon. Oh my. Okay, so if we take this off log, that's pretty intense. From 240. Make sure to zoom in. I do want to make sure that you guys can always see these charts well. So this is the daily. Let's switch back to like the 2 hour. Ooh, this could be some fun trading. Get back to the log, reset. All right. So this was, what was this? You said 20 hours ago on the 7th. So a few days ago, it made a pretty major pump. Where did that come from? Was there any news that this was based off of? That wouldn't make a lot of sense if it was pure fundamentals or pure technicals. I asked him why pumped in 24 hours. He said Unfi will return dead people to life again. That's why. That's got to be what it is. There's no, this isn't natural. There's no, this is, let's go ahead and measure that just from the breakout. So if you were to actually trade this, if you were to have a perfect setup and you would have had perfect clairvoyance, there's your resistance. You wait for maybe, so there's two different ways you probably could have traded this. Either wait for a higher high through here. There's one probable entry, and then wait for the close on the, well, that's the 2 hour. Depends what you're trading this on. 4 hour, pretty similar. I probably would have pushed this down to there. Wait for a close above. It's still going to be the same thing for the 4 hour. On the daily, it's actually a little bit better. But yeah, that would have been the best situation, is if you were on the daily. But if I was trading this, I probably wouldn't have pushed out, because there's not, we just don't have enough to look at here. Like, I wouldn't have made a trade based on that unless it was a quick little higher high. And then what does it even bounce down to? I probably would have got stopped out. So yeah, that's minus 17%. This would have been a tough trade to catch perfectly. Now, if you were on the 2 hour, you probably would have been in the best situation if you waited for that close or a higher high based on our local highs right through here. So that would give you either an entry here if you were doing it based on absolute price action. Make that green for entry. Get a little bit bigger. And then otherwise, you'd be looking at something through here. Oh, that's too big. If you were waiting for closes on the 2 hour. So what is the actual, it still would have been insane. $5 to 40 something. $5 to 42, 733. Now, if I was trading this, I would have caught a very small percentage of that pump. I don't even know how I'd set a sell target on this, especially if it's a close above 5. Now, if it runs from 380 to 5 in whatever that is, 2 hours. Well, actually, it runs from 350 to 5 in 2 hours. It's got a lot of acceleration. That's one of those situations where you're saying it's got to break down. I wouldn't set a super high sell target, maybe at $6. And then you just continue that and you just run multiple trades. That's still 20%. You run 20%. You do it over and over again, probably every dollar. Probably waiting for your 10 cents of confirmation, or really just higher highs. You zoom into the 30-minute, the 15-minute, the 5-minute, like we did on Luna a few weeks back. On the 4-hour time frame, it was one big candlestick. Let's take a look. Oh my. Well, it's still kind of split up. I mean, it's the same confirmation though from the 2-hour and the 4-hour. They just lined up 276%, and then for absolutes, what was that, 242-ish? 744 still. That's insane. I don't know what we're looking at right now. It's one of those situations where we may see a little reflex bounce off of this, but it's pretty improbable. We would most likely see, well, we're going to see a bounce somewhere just based on the volume that's been in, especially because this is 3 days old. People are probably talking about it like crazy. I don't know why I haven't heard about it. I'm not super tapped in. I guess that's why. But we have seen a close below on the 4-hour, below our support through here. Not a perfect sign, but we could see a little bit of a whipsaw. Really no confirmation back towards the downside until lower low. That's what we got for Unify. But if anybody has any other theses, we can take a look back at that in towards the end of the stream. Again, if you guys do have any suggestions for coins that we should chart out or we should run some analysis on, go ahead and suggest those in the comments. Let's go ahead and start building out a system. If you guys have any recommendations for a coin that we should build a system out for, go ahead and drop those below. Otherwise, I'll just pick a random top 10, top 20 cryptocurrency, but maybe try to keep it in the top 10, top 20 or so, unless you guys have something that you think would actually work out pretty well for a higher highs or a lower low system. The scalper shorted from the top and enjoy, but finding the top is not easy, so I stayed out. Finding the top is impossible, so it's finding the bottom. Most of the time, especially if you don't have historical price action, I'd say it's impossible. And at that point, you just run by percentages. So you'd say plus 20%, you'd run by round numbers, percentages, maybe a Fibonacci extension. But it's so random at this point, especially when something pumps like that. You just kind of have to either forget about it or not have a system that works 100% of the time and just kind of, as I say, ape into it. And you can make some good money. But there have been some funny trades that I've been looking at on Twitter and such, where people are making some good money on alts right now. Even though everything, as you can see, let's go ahead and look back. Everything is looking pretty red today, following Bitcoin, in my opinion. It's down 2.5%. Wow. On Bybit, it hasn't made even close to a touch to a low. I think I was looking at it on Binance and Coinbase, and it's actually lining up for like a 1, 2, 3 triple bottom. I'm personally waiting for, wait, this is the 4-hour? Yeah. I'm personally waiting for a lower low for maybe a quick short side position, maybe. Like share any signal. Not that type of stream. We're going to do some analysis and you guys can make your own decisions on trades. Waves. Let's do waves. Let's try to build a wave system. Let's do waves to US dollar. Although waves isn't doing too well right now, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah, waves is doing terrible right now. There's a bunch of news that came out about it. Let's take all of this off. Wow, that was short term through here. That broke straight back down. That was back in, I think we were doing a stream back here. Yeah, it was back in April. One of the old streams. Well, I just removed all my indicators by accident. Let's bring those back in just a minute. But we're going to try to, actually the first thing we're going to do is put Donchian channels. We talked about this, I think 2 streams ago. This can help us out a lot, especially with the higher highs and the lower lows strategy. It's basically going to be able to visually track our past 20 days of higher highs, or our past 20 days of highs, or our past 20 days of lows. We can change this to absolutely anything. We can change it to the last 100 days, the last 80 days of highs or lows. It can be very valuable, especially when back testing a higher highs and lower lows strategy. I guess I should go through what is, or explain what is a higher highs or lower lows strategy. Let's bring this back to 20 and then we'll actually clear it. So for higher highs or higher lows, it's kind of similar to the trend following strategy, but it's more of a scalping strategy. In my opinion, you're not really catching the trend as much as you're catching a continuation of the trend. So it would be a situation in which every time we make a new high, usually on a bull run, or a new low, usually on a bear run, we're going to go ahead and make an entry and try to scalp a few percentage points. So we can put some dodge channels on in the future that will give us a good representation. But right now, let's just go ahead and say this is where we're at. Or actually, I mean, we could go all the way back to here. Once we have confirmed this bull trend, this nice bull run through here, we can actually move this up and we'll measure this first. So let's see, maybe we see confirmation through here. We wait for that close. All right, we see this giant close up through here. We've made that new higher high. We are fully confirmed for a bull run from right around $4 up to close to $10, $11. That's why we're breaking down, is because it's overextended through there. So here's our confirmation, maybe through here on the shorter time frames, but definitely on the 4-hour time frame up through here. We're fully confirmed. This will now act as support, but it was acting as a resistance. We can actually make that. That's cluttering the chart up just a little bit. Change it to this. I never like doing that because then I have to measure out how flat it's going to be. All right, there's our resistance. Doesn't really matter for our situation. So if we can make a higher high based on the 4-hour time frame, let's go ahead and start running through all of our situations. So this is going to be a back test, and we're going to explain what the higher high strategy is at the exact same time. So let's go ahead and say we're going to start our trading right through here, maybe somewhere around here. So we've seen this confirmation. We see this breakdown, a slight breakdown from, that's not too slight, but right through here. Here's where we begin. So everything here forward is what we're actually looking at. Everything here doesn't matter at the moment because we were looking for a back test, but this is where we're cutting it off because this is where we began hypothetically. So this is our new candlestick right through here. We'll start at right around 6275. Here is our most recent high. We've made a new higher high based on our previous price action through here. Let's say in this situation, you'd go back and you'd start back testing through the last few weeks or so. You'd say, all right, here is our new highest high. If we can see a higher high than that on the 4-hour time frame, then we're going to go ahead and open up a long side trade. So that level is right around $6.23, $6.24. That's going to be our baseline. If we can form a higher high above that, maybe buy. Let's go ahead and measure. Actually, it can just be absolute. So any type of higher high at all, any type of price action, as soon as we break above $6.23, $6.24, we're going to make an entry. So let's go ahead and zoom in just a little bit more. We're sticking with the 4-hour time frame, maybe a short to intermediate term time frame. And as soon as we see that higher high, which we did see during that very next candlestick right through here, around that price action, let's just say at 628, you end up making your entry. You fell asleep. It runs back to 628 and you go ahead and make your entry. Now you're going to go ahead and stretch to our next level. You're going to predict that it's going to act as a scalp. So we can measure all the way up. It's 18%, but you're most likely not going to grab 18% because you have no idea that we're going to run that high. Let's just say you're decently conservative and you hit 3.5% for most of these trades. Here's going to be your exit. There is your position for our very first trade based on higher highs. And you're just going to run this over and over and over again, depending on your time frame. That will determine your frequency. So on the 4-hour time frame, let's say, all right, we made our higher high through here. You exit at 6,505. You catch that nice 3.5%, even on spot. That's fine. You have very tight stop losses. Now, would that hit perfectly? We don't know because it's the 4-hour. We would have to zoom in a second to determine if we hit a stop loss first. But this is just our general outline. So we break above 628 for our entry, and we hit that sell at right around 650. Now we move to our next higher high. We move to our next candlestick. this is going to be our new high. So we've seen that run. We missed out. We're feeling bad. We see that run up to right around 746. Yeah, 746. And you say, if we make a higher high above that level, we're going to make an entry. So right around 647, 648 or so, we have our new entry target. And we're going to predict that we can run at least 3.5%. So we set our sell target at close to 775, and we hit it in this situation as well. So there's our higher high through there, and you're securing 3.5% yet again. Again, this is a trading system, so we're trying to be as repeatable as possible, not trying to catch that 77, that unfied 700% pump. We're trying to catch 3, 5, 7, 8, 10% pumps over and over and over again towards the long side. So let's go ahead and continue this situation. If we can see a higher high based on our next candlestick, so this is our new high. Let's go ahead and set this as our baseline through here at 785. That's our next high. And if you guys have any questions, I'm going to come back to the stream chat in just a second. So because I know this may be confusing at this point. Now our entry is 789. If we can make any price action break above 789, we're going to go ahead and scalp towards the long side, right around 3.5% yet again. So we stretch up from our entry, 3.5% right through there, 357, right around there. Doesn't really matter. At 8.17, so $8.17. Is that it? Right around there. That's going to be our exit, our third exit and our third trade. As we continue, we'll just set one more example before I check the chat. This is our new high for our very next candlestick. It's way higher, and we're saying, why did I set my sell targets at plus 3.5%? Why didn't I set them at plus, let's go ahead and measure some of these, at plus 15%. Could have caught it, plus 13%. Would have been fine. Would have gotten stopped out maybe through here at, wait, where's our next? Yeah, maybe through here at our plus or our next trade, maybe as we move higher, but I would have caught the 13% for the next trade. We have no idea at this point that we're going to rise 13%, or that we're going to rise 18 or 20% for any of these candlesticks. What we're trying to do is secure the most immediate profit possible based on any new higher high. For a higher high in scalping strategies in general, you're most likely going to have very small sell target. So 3.5% is a very average and very normal for a sell target for a higher highs scalping strategy. If you're running with a trend following strategy, sorry, I'm losing my voice. If you're running with a trend following strategy, then yes, you could be setting sell targets closer to 15 or 20%, but that is a completely different system. So this is our new baseline right through here, close to $10.28. At this point, you're probably doubting yourself. You're saying, how much higher can we really go? But if we do make a higher high, we're probably going to move up at least 3.5%. So we go ahead and stretch that up. We certainly did catch that for our next higher high, close to here. Again, we can't get it perfectly because we're not zoomed in far enough, but there is our next sell target. And we hit 1, 2, 3, 4 trades in right around, that's an entry. I'll do that after. 4 trades in right around, what is that, 2 days and 4 hours? That sounds pretty good to me. A total of 3.5% times 4 trades. And that is a good little trading system for this, I'd say, short-term bull run. Now, on the bear run side, we can run this exact same thing, and we can back test for the best little stretches. So our best percentage stretches, 1.74%. We can make a new low below there, and it's not great. Actually, that's pretty much matches up. So we can clear all of these off. Our new low, that was 1.74. The low there is, before we run back up, we run above 3.82, 3.45%. And then we go to our next area. Actually, that's immediate, right around 1.55. So not the best through here, right around 2.88. Now, this is only really whenever we're looking at our most immediate price action. So most of the time, we're not going to see big jumps like we saw through here. It's not a huge jump, but it's maybe a day and 12 hours, day and a half. We're not going to see those giant jumps. Most of the time, if we're on a bull rally, if we're on a heavy bear rally or a heavy bear run, heavy bull rally, we're most likely going to see that next higher high within a candlestick or two, especially on the 4 hour. All right, let's get back to these questions. Is it possible to build a system that will detect a pump on Doge from Elon Musk tweets? most likely. Yeah, absolutely. There are probably systems out there right now that are just scraping or just waiting to get pinged by any Elon Musk tweet that mentions Doge or money sign Doge or even the word dog. I think he tweeted about that he likes to go to movie theaters or something, and AMC pumped based on that. Probably GME as well. Can you talk about Flix? Should I say Film Coin? I can check it out if it's on Bybit. I'll look into it. Flix. I'm missing a trade right now, but it's okay. Bitcoin is ranging on a 4-hour time frame, and who trades on the 4-hour time frame? Sitting down, just watching the price range for days, no trades, waiting for Bitcoin to enter the range and start trending. I feel that completely, although I've been squeezing a little bit. So maybe we talked about this a couple weeks back. So basically what you can do is you can build a range. So we have our regular Bitcoin range right now. I'll catch up on those new questions in just a moment, but let's go through this because I really like this question. So is this even the proper range? It is not. This is old. Yeah, this is all old. See, Bitcoin just made that. Let's remove all of these. We'll just reset. Oh, I removed the indicators again. It's fine. So we actually just formed a lower low on Binance right through here. And it's already down 0.85. Yeah, I missed out on that trade. That's all right. I just made a trade from, it wasn't on Binance or on Bybit. I can't remember which exchange it was on, but it was for a lower low. And it was a 1%. I think this is just slightly different price action than we're seeing on other exchanges right now. So slightly different bottoms. So let's go ahead and draw our range. So the bottom side of the range, maybe we set it through here. Let's try to catch all of these bottom side shadows. Let's be reasonable or conservative, I mean. So there's our support. There's a general support for our range. For the top side, it was a lot easier to draw before we started consolidating this much. Maybe around, should we bring that down? Maybe around here. That's 3 touches. That's fine. So here, just very general, very rough. Here is our range. What you can do in this situation, if you're waiting for a daily close or something above or below this range, you can go ahead and start squeezing these in for shorter term trades. So you'd say, all right, we've hit 1, 2, 3. Ignore our current price action right now because we're actually starting to break down. Depending on the close, we'll see. So let's say we've seen these 3 touches through here. We broke up through here, but we held 3 times through here. We held generally 1, 2, 3, 4 times through here. Again, ignoring any type of swap on top, as they say. We start to bring it down just a little bit until we see even more touches. So let's say we squeeze our range down to here. And again, we're actually bring it down just a little bit more. So we're going to squeeze our range down on the top side. We're going to squeeze it down on the bottom side as well. Again, we don't gain that many touches on the bottom side, but this is just what you can do in general. Maybe not for the Bitcoin situation precisely. But if you are seeing a range and we're not seeing any type of breakouts or breakdowns and you're just waiting, you can start to squeeze those in over time, especially with a triangle formation. So let's say this was a perfect triangle. And again, on other exchanges, it does look a lot better. It's just a difference in price action. Completely fine. So let's say we're seeing a completely flat bottom and we're seeing lower highs on the top side. So let's say we are forming like a perfect triangle through here. What you can do is you can keep your bottom side. You can set your top side to something like that, where we've got all those touches. Then you can start bring it down over time. You can even start measuring based on our highs. So first high, second high, third high, and you'd set these as our lower highs, or you'd set these as kind of our measuring points. So you come down 2.17%, you come down half a percentage point, you do it based on closes, you come down 1.6, you come down 1.3. So we're seeing the general range. I think the magnitude of the range is somewhere around 7% on average right now. Yeah, 7.5, 7% on other exchanges. And we say, all right, we're going to bring this down just a little bit over time on the top side if we want to catch these sell targets, or we want to catch these little shorter term pumps. So we'd say, all right, we come down maybe an average of, let's be conservative, 1.5% each time. Come down from 31, whatever it is. Again, this wouldn't actually work out. We actually didn't confirm, but this is just a general strategy. You come down 1.69%, bring it down to here. We didn't end up seeing any confirmation back towards the long side. We do end up seeing confirmation towards the downside. But if we saw that confirmation towards the long side, maybe above here, right around 3107, we see a nice 2-hour, 4-hour close above that level, and we start to trend upwards. So maybe something like this instead. Start to do that, blah, 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 blah. You go ahead and set your sell target a little bit higher. Again, you can actually use these levels. I don't know if that's perfect though. Let's go ahead and do it based on closes and see how that looks. It looks a little bit better, but it's still not going to be perfect. I usually don't sell set. Actually, I'm not saying that correctly. I never set sell targets based on diagonal supports or resistances. This is really just to determine our overall trend. So again, we're doing it by percentage instead of setting that or setting our sell targets based on that actual trend line, trying to extend the exact slope by which our new price action or our new lower highs are going to form. We're just going to estimate conservatively based on percentages. So we bring it down by 1.5, maybe 2%. We go ahead and set that sell target maybe close to 38,800 flat or so. And you grab a nice, let's say you see confirmation above that level, a nice little close, and you grab 2.1%. Throw some leverage on that, and that's a perfectly fine trade. So if you're looking to zoom in a little bit on your Bitcoin ranges, that's probably how I do it. And again, you can do that for any pair, especially ones that are a little bit more well formed in terms of triangles or just general ranges, things that are a little bit less random than our current Bitcoin price or our current Bitcoin chart. Some top 200 alts touch their 2018 bearish price again. Do you think it's good buy? I can't recommend long-term investments just based on going down to that price. I think it's just a gamble at this point, especially because you'd have to fundamentally analyze all those coins. Can't make any recommendations based on that, but just in general, alts coming down to their 2018 bearish price. 2018 doesn't look good, doesn't sound good to me. I'd rather a coin go down to the last 2 years of bearish price action rather than the last 4 years. Just completely my opinion. But a lot of those, lower than top 50 coins, I don't touch in general. I'll trade them, but I'm not going to invest in them. Just in general, my investments are Bitcoin and Ethereum. TA on DGB if possible. We can. We're going to do flicks, and let's do DGB, and then maybe we'll do giveaway. Funny thing about Wave, somebody exposed their developers for price manipulation. The price did not crash as much as Luna. Crazy, right? That's what I saw. There's something about flooding in or using Tether or something to kind of wash the price, like they're talking about with Luna. I don't know how much that is completely accurate, though. Let's see. What else? EOS touched his 2018 bearish price too. I'd be curious to look at that. The risk reward ratio for these trade setups that you're looking at is 2 times the risk. I talked about that probably like 5 streams back, but I say absolute minimum of 1.5, maximum of 4. I definitely wouldn't go below 1.5. Personally, I don't find myself really even getting close to that. I think I've seen like 1.67 and I start to get nervous where I say, is this worth it? In my opinion, and based on at least my most recent trading, I try to stay above 1.75. But yeah, 2.0 is perfect. 2.5 is perfect. Try to stay around those levels for my personal trades. And for higher highs and lower lows as well. Definitely don't want to get below like 1.5 territory. Waves only touched the 2018 bearish price. Well, it must have touched the 2020 bearish price as well. Oh, you guys are talking to each other. Those 4-hour traders are printing. All right. You do a small demonstration on how to trade options on Bybit, how a buy and sell setup looks like, and how to exit a buy or sell trade. So I will have to look into that. I'll have to get an account set up for that, like a test account set up. But that would have to be in the future. But I can definitely look into that. I can ask. So options, like a quick tutorial. Let's see. Know that scalping can help trade the ranges, but I prefer to swing trade. Everybody's got their system. You trade ranges without breakouts. Absolutely. Again, you bring those ranges down just a little bit, and you can just trade in between. So a lot of time, Dang it, link. A lot of the times you will end up seeing basically a halfway point. So again, let's say we've got a general range right through here. We've got top side right through here. You can, in general, set something right around the halfway point. Now, this wouldn't work out for Bitcoin because we're seeing these lower highs. If you're seeing pretty much a very sideways or almost perfectly sideways trading range, this will work a lot better. So we can actually move back. And what we can do is set up what I like to call inflection levels. So this is our bottom side. Again, ignore anything past here. This is when we broke kind of down, but we whipsawed back up. Basically, this is whenever we stopped having a completely sideways range and started to form what is almost a triangle range. So anything past this blue line, ignore for this situation. But let's say we're trading this range back through here. And this looks about right. You know, you don't have perfect clairvoyance, so you can't determine this is going to be lower. So you say, all right, this is about our average right through here. We can catch quite a few tops. This is what we're looking at. What you can do is, for some reason, let's say you're waiting for a breakout and you're not trading kind of in between the range itself. If you want to start trading in between the range, what you can do is set it right around a halfway point. Let's actually measure this magnitude real quick. 5.36, perfectly fine. There's our resistance, there's our support. The middle, I would call it the inflection level. So anytime we see passes through that level, you can actually set up a system. Again, you have to back test it first, depending on the pair. But what you can try to do is set up a system to where whenever we do see a cross above that price, we will most likely push higher towards the top side of that range. It really is almost making manual Bollinger Bands, almost drawing them yourself. But you're saying these are our most probable levels for the top side. These are most probable levels for the bottom side. If we see that acceleration, if we see a good bounce from the bottom side and we cross over that halfway point, like we see in Bollinger Bands for trading systems that were completely based on Bollinger Bands, whenever we see that momentum, once it's gone past that halfway or really our inflection level, then we've confirmed that we should probabilistically move towards the top side of the trading range. And this would actually work out most likely in this situation. We'd have to back test it, but just based on looking at it, it looks fine to me. You'd have a couple stop losses, but it looks like you'd win out in the end until we get to right around here, whenever we actually break down. Oh, Waz Andy, how's it going, dude? My Bitcoin short has been triggered, though. My Bitcoin short would have been triggered if I wasn't streaming right now. TA on BLZ. That's all right. There will always be more trades, trust me. So let's go ahead and start getting into these. Let's do like 10 more minutes of charts. Let's start running through these requests. Let's go to Flix. Hopefully it's on Binance. We're going to do DGB. We're going to do BLZ. And then we're going to do that giveaway. So do stick around. And it's going to be the same way we've been doing giveaways in the past. All you have to do is make sure that you have either your Discord name or your Telegram name at the ready. And you will have to join the Bybit Telegram or Discord. If you're not in those already, you most likely are. But if you're not, go ahead and join those. That's the only way we'll be able to notify you if you won and get your user ID and then send you the US dollar tether. So first, it's going to be Flix. I've not heard of Flix, so it sounds new. You're going to have to let me know what is the right pair for this. Flix, is it FLIX? None of these are on Bybit though. But we can take a look. Is it, yeah, FLIX? If you're still around, we'll come back to it in just a second. But let me know. We'll do DGB first. DGB on Bybit. All right, what are we looking at here? So the 4 hour, let's start with the weekly and just get a good general look. All right, so it's generally newly listed. It was listed on end of March 2022. So yeah, kind of new. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks. And we've seen 10 bearish weeks. DGB has not been a great performer for probably the past 4 years, to be honest. 5 years. It was doing well in 2017, but we haven't really seen much from it. Now, if we look at a different chart that had price action from 2020, let's do that real quick. I'm just curious. What probably has the most price action? Bitfinex. Where's Bitfinex regular? All right, maybe OKX. OKX. Okay, actually hasn't been bad in 2020, 2021. I've just been ignoring DGB. 258. Is this to, yeah, this is the US dollar. 254 up to 18 cents. Okay, never mind. That's me. I'll bite my tongue on this one. But let's go back to Bybit and let's look at that local price action. So here we are on the daily. It looks like we're forming a nice little range. Maybe some good confirmation for a breakout. Maybe some good confirmation for a breakdown. I am immediately seeing lower lows. Yep, everything's lower in this situation. First lower low. Second lower low, or actually first low. First lower low. Second lower low. Here's our absolute at close to 856. It's always a good sign whenever it's a US dollar pair and it's down that low. It's fine. Towards the top side, what are we looking at? Nothing perfect. Looks like our first, our second, and our third lower low, and we're actually starting to see our lower high. We're actually seeing our first higher low, higher high. We've seen our first higher high. When you say the same words, it feels like when you say the same word over and over again, it starts to lose its meaning or it just makes no sense. You guys know what I'm talking about. So that's what we have right now in terms of a range, and we've actually finally made that higher high. Higher low, higher high, lower high, higher low. What am I doing? It's the one-handed trading while I keep my hand on the mic. So that's what we're looking at so far. Honestly, this doesn't tell us much. In terms of the closes, again, same situation. Closes pretty much all line up except for this through here. You can almost call that flat through here. So we're actually going to set that. And we're going to zoom in. This is the daily, so we will zoom in just a second. And then let's see anything from the top side. That actually doesn't look bad. So we'll set that for the top side of our range for now. Or account for that previous price action as just a little bit more volatility from this breakdown and this breakout, or basically a double whipsaw. Let's zoom into the 4 hour. Okay, that looks a lot better in terms of consistency. I see a range and a tradable range at that. What we could do in this situation, let's remove all these little, all right, we're going back to two-handed. So all these, now that we've got just our horizontal support and resistances on the chart, and we can actually bring that range in like we were talking about. If we're looking to set up a good strategy, let's go ahead and measure where the stops would be from this though. So there's the bottom side stops. Oh wow, 5.80. That's not very common. 4.90. All right, that's probably too far. Well, actually, if those are 4.90, what are these? It's 16. That's not terrible. Let's see if we bring it down just a little bit more. Now, what are we forming? We are forming slightly lower lows, but it's not, I don't know how significant that is. Between here at 0.01059 and 0.01050. That doesn't seem insanely significant or not significant enough. Now, yes, it is a lower low, but not significant enough in order to push the bottom side of our range down. Not by much. Now, maybe the top side we bring down slightly to be a little bit conservative and try to catch those longs while we're going for longs. But in terms of shorts, we should be fine. All right, so let's make this yellow. It's going to be our secondary support. Bring the range in a little bit on the bottom or on the top side, and that's going to be, we'll measure that in just a second. We might want to bring that down a little bit more. That's going to be our secondary resistance. So let's go ahead and measure the magnitude of the new range. 14.55%, even with a 5% stop loss. That is perfecto. So we're making slightly lower lows, lower highs through here until we see, but that's a top side shadow. We're still seeing that in general. Maybe we bring this down a little bit more and we can tighten up that stop loss, at least for the long side. For the short side, we might be able to flip it. So new magnitude, again, 13.5, 13.7, perfectly fine. Now, where are we going to want to catch those stop losses? So if we're going to make entries through here, it depends on this next low. So if we're going for the long side, it's right on 2%. That's fine. 2.81. Let's set it at 3%. Why are we being picky at this point? So say this is our entry. We'll make that blue in just a second. 3.08%. Bring that up just slightly, right around there. So this is going to be our entry towards the long side. We come down, we bounce. As long as we hold, we'll make that purple in just a second. As long as we continue to make higher lows. Okay. What is that? From here. Excuse me. From here. Okay, that's fine. From there to there, what is the stretch? 4.25 down to 4.90. It's down to 5.50. If you want to be the most conservative and really have the best chance of actually holding out, if we see a lower low from bottom side shadows. So we're going to delete that. There's your stop loss. Let's go ahead and check that for a long position. Check that risk reward. Because I'm doing all this in my head and I really don't know if it's correct. Risk reward of 2.52. Target of 13.68 and a stop of 5.43. That's what we have for a range towards the long side. We just completely flipped that for the short side. Maybe we bring it... No, actually, we can keep it the same. We can just flip it and keep our levels the same for the short side. That's what we have for DGB. Flicks. F-L-I-C-K-S or is it F-L-I-X? That's what I'm curious about. It's about 2 months. People short Bitcoin between 310 to 320 and long it between 280 to 290 with 100% guaranteed. 310. You're talking about 31,000, 32,000, 28,000, 29,000. Short Bitcoin. Which pair are you talking about? Bitcoin needs a very big dump or very big pump in short time to wreck the position pressure. That's true. That's what ends up happening. Either people give away. Yeah, okay, it is giveaway time. We'll come back for BLZ at the very end. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, that's what we see. Or we see a deterioration of buyers or sellers. I mean, in the current markets, there's no... It's not like 2015, 2016, where people just... Or like retail traders just run out of money. And that breaks the ranges. I think it's... like you said, giant long positions, giant short positions, or just a ton of positions, or not positions, a ton of volume to break those. But yeah, let's do the giveaway. We got 13 people. Let's go ahead and get 13 entries. So we're going to switch over to here. I have to... Let me change it real quick. Let's share the right tab. Give me 1 second. Share. All right. So all you need to do, let's go ahead and open it up real quick. Open up the giveaway. All you need to do is go to menti.com and you're going to type in the following code as soon as it loads up. 11759043. 11759043. And then it's going to prompt you with a little text box. All you have to type in is first either your Telegram or your Discord name. If you're typing in your Telegram, just put -TG. If you're typing in your Discord, just put -D or -Discord. But I think there are enough people that have been doing these giveaways that we should see some good examples pop up. Make sure everybody can join. Getting a few more people in, catching that giveaway. All right, people are joining. What's up, Hey Y? The seasoned winner, Oluwaz Andy, another seasoned winner. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for submitting your entry for the giveaway. think I can make a countdown as well. We'll do that in a few minutes. Make sure everybody can join. I think we're gonna do one more chart. I'm gonna on my own screen try to find Flix real quick. So I cannot. Flix. Seen a lot of Uniswap coins. All right, let's check CMC. Webflix or Flixo. They're both ranked like 17 and 1800. Might not be the best idea to talk about them on stream. Even as small of a stream as this, coins or pairs in general, with that level of market cap, 370,000 or whatever the other one is, 580,000. Probably not the best idea to chart those publicly. So we're gonna have to skip Flix unless there's a ticker. It has a ticker that's, you know, top 400 that I haven't found. We're just gonna try to stay away from those super low market cap coins. Netflix tokenized stock. Oh, I forgot that some of these exchanges do that. All right, we've got 14 Blacklist. How's it going? Another season winner, Olumide Broski. King Zitty. How's it going, everybody? We'll give it 1 minute. So if you guys haven't already, because we got 17 people watching, 14 people entered. If you guys haven't already, all you have to do is go to menti.com. You're going to type in the code 11759043. It's going to prompt you to enter either a Telegram or Discord name. It's just going to be a text box. Put your @ Telegram or Discord name, and then do -- Telegram or Discord. Make sure that you are a part of either the Bybit, Telegram, or Discord so that we can reach out to you if you do happen to be the lucky winner. So I can't switch my tabs anymore. All right, 16. And I'm guessing Kilo's not entering. So let's go ahead and we'll give it 30 seconds just in case at the last minute people are entering. But we're going to do some BLZ. Let me check the BLZ market cap real quick. You guys like the small market cap coins. No problem with that, but sometimes it's, yeah, BLZ is fine. Market cap of 57 million, volume in 99 million. On what exchange? Oh my Lord. On Binance, 59 million in the last 24 hours. Wow. That's a fun one. We'll check that out in a second. All right, voting's closed. We got 16 people in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of these results real quick. Last time I deleted all the results instead of copied them. Got to click download. So what we're going to do is we're going to move over to the wheel of names. Do that real quick. Thanks for DGB analysis. Yeah, it looks like a good chart right now. I wonder what the volume is as well. I'll have to take a look at that in a sec. Wheel of names, my favorite, completely free names picker. All right, let's get these results. Give me just a moment. Also, if you guys have any suggestions for next week's stream, you can drop them as well. I don't think we have time for any more than BLZ this week, but we'll have time next week. And it'll be at the top of the list if you submit it right now. All right, that is 16 people. Confirmed. Throw them in here. Good luck, everybody. Wait, Pope, did you submit twice? Oh, no. Okay. Well, I might have to confirm that name because is it like that? We'll find out. All right. That is 16 people. Let's go ahead and spin it. Best of luck, everybody. Oh, looks like a new winner. I really thought Haywire was Andy. We're gonna swing it again. All right, congratulations, Charvin Bala. On Telegram, we will reach out to you after risk review. It actually does take between like 20 business days. So be very patient, but it will come in. The previous winners can vouch that it does come in, but it does take a while. There's a process to get it distributed properly. But congratulations. We're going to go ahead and move over to the not the DGB chart, the BLZ chart. Let me make sure I can share that. Congratulations. Forgetfulness will kill me. That's a traitor. That is a traitor right there. All right. I'm just thinking about my link trade. I'm trying to remember what that. Okay, real quick. Bear with me. Oh, where's the link? 8.22. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Oh no, that's a local low. It's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. All right, let's check out BLZ. Is it on Bybit? If it's not on Bybit, we'll check out just a random one. Perpetch. We've got some decent price action. It's kind of a new coin. December 2021. We can check it out on other exchanges and see any more price action history. It's about the same. Now, does anybody use open interest for trading? That's what I'm curious. Anybody in the chat use open interest to help with trading? I personally do not, but I'm thinking about trying it. I'm thinking about trying to develop some type of strategy. So this is the 4 hour. Let's start with the daily. It's an interesting chart to try to decipher just because we don't have a lot of price action to start with. Well, actually, we've got 6 months. 6 months. So nothing great in terms of the top side. 21 cents. What is some of this? From 4 cents to 20, 4 cents to 22. In terms of the breakout, maybe 8 cents to 22. Okay. And that was in May. Some recent price action. Just put that there to get started. I think part of this, why I just clicked the wrong buttons, is I'm not used to charting on a laptop. I'm used to the desktop. So let's actually draw something up here we can always move it on the 4 hour. Let's just draw it where it looks like it's perfectly lined, but it probably won't be once we move into the other time frames. See if there's any closes on the weekly. Not terrible. Does that tell us anything? No. Well, no. What about on the breakdown? Are we getting anything there? Let's see. Yeah, wow, some slippage. Well, no, both sides. You can actually draw that as a box. I don't usually draw boxes. Where is it? Somewhere between. Actually, no. That doesn't look bad. Like that. What do you guys think? So that's what we have on the daily. We'll zoom into some of this more immediate price action in just a moment, but we're trying to see if there's anything that's going to tell us or give us any good zones or any good confirmations just in terms of more intermediate to intermediate stuff for our local price action. So this might be a decent area of confirmation. Again, we're probably going to want to push that down a little bit. Just because we have kind of a conflict from our closes and our shadows. But it's, again, like I said, it's going to give us a box, but just draw 2 lines. All right, so let's zoom into the 4 hour, see if we're getting anything here. Getting a little bit. Well, let's zoom in a lot on that. Looks fine to me. Based on closes on the 4 hour. Now, what about based on those lows? So we got a low at 16.4. I think in this situation, we'd be better off on closes than lows, because the lows, I mean, it's a quick and fast and heavy bull run. We're going to see just every single higher high and higher low. And we're not going to get as much as if we saw like a big shadow down to give us something a little bit more absolute. This is a tough one. Maybe we draw retracement. Let's just see what it looks like. 0.08, redraw from there. We can do it multiple ways. That's the thing about fib retracements, is you can draw them. Basically, you can flip it, and it's going to give you almost the exact same zone. This is something that I've always kind of been perplexed by, is you can actually draw. So there it is from down to up, and I can actually show you guys from up to down. We actually have almost the exact same zones. The only thing is they're going to be a little bit different. Are going to be our 263 or 236 versus our 786 on both sides, but they're going to be very similar levels. So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this. So 0.187 up to 0.19, pretty small difference from here to here. Same on this side, but we're actually going to see the exact same thing from 0.618 to 0.382 is the exact same level in our 0.5. So if you guys are ever super confused, it can be very confusing, or you just get switched around and you accidentally draw from top to bottom instead of bottom to top on a bull run versus a bear run. You don't really have to worry about it, because you're going to get almost the exact same zone. It's not going to be perfect. Most of the time, you're not going to be making confirmations or making entries or exits based on those exact zones anyways. You're going to be using it to confirm your horizontal support or resistance, or to confirm usually your price action and your support or resistance. It's just another indicator. I just put that on the chart and we didn't even read it. I just went into a tangent about how you can mess up and still be fine. All right, what do we have? 382, 0.5. Nothing really perfectly aligning. That low at 618. 0.5 gives us nothing. What about from the daily? What about from our closes? I think it's better from our breakout confirmation to our top side, or our most local high. Looks fine to me. Again, it's all giving a pretty general alignment between 0.164 and 0.17. So that's really all the information we have right now. Actually, right back on. Where's our next zone? 0.5 at 0. Okay, that's fine. So another tricky chart. These small or these lower market caps, but I think we have deciphered it just a little bit. So that's what we have. We have our first general zone, almost a box between here and here, aligning with multiple indicators, aligning with our general price action. Don't know why it's purple. So there's our little box, our little range of support at the moment. That is our first zone. We break down to our next zone, and it's right around 0.15. Actually, we'll do the average just in case, depending on different time frames. It's right on a 9.85, almost a 10% trade. Probably going to bring that up just a little bit to try to beat out those other sellers. And you're looking at 9% on the short side. Congrats, Charvine. Congrats a lot. But thank you guys so much. I think that's just about the end of the stream. Hour 9. Trying to keep these under an hour, and it just never works out. I think the first two were like an hour, and then the last one I did before we left for Europe was maybe an hour 30. So if you guys didn't get to check the beginning of the stream, or didn't get to watch the beginning of the stream, this will be uploaded as a VOD, or video on demand. I think that's an outdated term. You guys can check that out if you guys haven't or missed some of the previous streams. You didn't get to watch them live. They're all uploaded on the Bybit YouTube channel. I believe there's a playlist. If there's not, I'm going to check right after, because I know a lot of people like to watch in playlist format. You can watch through all of them. They're about an hour long. We usually go through maybe a 30 to 40 minute lecture. We've been switching over to shorter lectures recently, and then we do some chart and technical analysis. Link crossing, Bitcoin crossing. I need to check on my trades. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. How is Axia Affinity doing in this bear market? I have no idea. I haven't checked the chart recently, but that is going to be the first coin that we look at, AXS, next week. I will see you guys next week. We're going to do one more giveaway next week and for the weeks after, but I will see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for joining. Hello to everybody in Discord and Telegram. Make sure to check out the stream next week. See you guys, and good luck trading this week. Oh, and